and staff of Nta Abeokuta had to rejoice with Sir Nta Abeokuta on the occasion of his 83rd birthday. We wish him long life, good health, and many prosperous years on earth. Happy birthday, sir. Announcer for management.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari commends World Bank's 2020 of doing business in Nigeria. World Polio Day, corporate bodies volunteer against polio. NTA reiterates commitment to youth development through technology. So have you join us? I'm Nta Abeokuta. And the Russian Federation have resolved to put their highly beneficial relations on fast track by not only pursuing the completion of abandoned and partially executed projects initiated by the two countries, but also starting new ones in critical economic sectors for the benefit of the people. The new chapter in Nigeria-Russia ties was formally opened at a high-level meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Russian leader Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the ongoing Russia-Africa Economic Summit in Sochi. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
It was a warm and highly befitting welcome for the leader of the largest economy in Africa, President Muhammadu Buhari, by the Russian leader Vladimir Putin as he arrived for talks aimed at deepening ties between their countries. The president is one of the selected 5 African leaders to be hosted separately by President Putin during the summit, and perhaps the most significant. Apart from agreeing to work together towards developing Nigeria's enormous gas potentials and infrastructure, the two leaders also promised improving the efficiency of the nation's oil sector through the rehabilitation of epileptic refineries, as well as establishing a framework for a joint venture between the NPC and Russia's leading oil company for oil prospection in the deep offshore.
There are many similarities between Russia's journey under your leadership and Nigeria's aspirations for the future. We can learn a lot from the experience of Russia's ongoing reforms of transitioning from an oil-dependent economy to a modern, diversified, and inclusive economy. Russia has, through these reforms, successfully privatized a number of state-owned entities, which have now become a global household names. This is especially so in the energy, manufacturing, defense, and the metallurgical sectors.
The issue of the uncompleted, abandoned adjusting for the return of Russia, government-to-government relationship for the completion and inauguration of the plant, a proposal fully accepted by the Russian leader. Russia also agreed to develop Nigeria's rail infrastructure by the construction of a 1,400-kilometer rail line from Lagos to the south city of Calabar. Talks were also finalized on the advancement of the ongoing project for the establishment of a nuclear power plant in Nigeria. On security and military cooperation, President Buhari promised to renew the Nigeria-Russia military technical agreement, saying he had already directed the Ministers of Defense and Justice to conclude this matter within the shortest time possible. This agreement is expected to give impetus to further cooperation in the direct procurement of military hardware on a government-to-government basis at a less cost, as well as the training of military personnel, the modernization of the armed forces, and the renewal of their infrastructure and equipment, which President Putin promised to undertake. Discussions also centered on the Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria, Ikwad-Abasi, geological prospecting of Nigeria's solid minerals, education and agriculture, especially wheat production, as well as the enhancement of security in the Gulf of indeed the country against piracy, oil theft, as well as terrorism and insurgency. To concretize all these and move forward, President Buhari made a case for the two countries to organize the 5th Joint Commission meeting to review and ratify all the 40 agreements contained in the Nigeria-Russia Joint Commission on Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation Protocol of 2016, a suggestion also accepted fully by the Russian leader.
I really hope that your visit to Russia will give a new impetus to our relations in all dimensions.
From Sochi, Russia, Adamu Sambu, Nta News.
And back home, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed delight to World Bank 2020 Doing Business Index, which ranks Nigeria 131 out of 190 countries. Hawa Saliu reports.
By this new ranking, Nigeria has gone up 15 places from 146th position last year. The report also named Nigeria as one of the top 10 most improved economies in the world for the second time in 3 years. Nigeria is one of only 2 African countries to make this highly prestigious list. With this year's leap, Nigeria has improved an aggregate of 39 places in the World Bank Doing Business Index since 2016. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari describes the announcement as welcoming and notes that Nigeria's movement by 15 places to 131, as well as the recognition being given to Nigeria as one of the top 10 most improved countries that have implemented the most reforms in 2020 is significant. The Doing Business Index is an annual ranking that objectively assesses prevailing business climate conditions across 190 countries based on 10 ease of doing business indicators.
Meanwhile, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubairu Dada, says Nigeria stood a place in 110 foreign nations across the globe to achieve its diplomatic objectives. At the 2020 budget defense before the Senate Committee of Foreign Affairs, the minister also stated that legislations are required for the actualization of the mission. Let's now join a National Assembly correspondent, Abdullahi Salih, for details.
Deliberations at the defense session focused on the fight against corruption, adequate funds to ensuring success of the country's foreign policy, and commitment to legislations that will safeguard the Nigeria's image.
What is critical now is an appreciation of the true problems on the ground and the political will to address such problems and challenges.
The Ninth Assembly legislative agenda entails a foreign policy that will address the abuses of Nigerians and enhance the image. Several factors.
At the budget defense session, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says it will provide long-term plans in which Muslims will be visiting Masjid Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, which is also part of Islamic history, through collaboration with the National Christian Pilgrims Commission. 2020 budget proposal by the National Christian Pilgrims Commission includes construction of a headquarters project on its permanent site in Abuja Central area. Meanwhile, 2020 budget proposal for the Federal Ministry of Industry is focusing on economic policies and programs of the federal government towards increasing investor confidence in the country.
The ministry's vision is to promote economic growth, create jobs and generate wealth, while the mission is to formulate and implement policies and programs to attract investment, boost industrialization, increase trade and export, and develop enterprises.
The committee will immediately embark on a fact-finding oversight immediately the 2020 budget is passed.
Also at the Senate, Minister of Education Adamu has defended the 2020 budget proposal for the sector before the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund.
The Minister of Education has obtained approval for the establishment of two federal universities. Federal University of Health Sciences in Otukpo, Benue, and the Federal University of Agriculture in Zuru, Kebbi State. And two federal polytechnics. Federal Polytechnic Dara in Katsina State and Federal Polytechnic Kaltungo in Gombe State.
The committee will scrutinize the submissions and take a decision on the budget.
The Ministry of Education seeks additional funds for execution of mandates by the 7 subsectors of the ministry, which include federal polytechnics, federal colleges of education, and federal universities. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, Nta News.
And still on legislative matters, selected projects that would impact positively on the country's economy have specifically congested in the more than 87 billion naira 2020 budget estimate for the Ministry of Water Resources. The Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, made the clarification while defending the 2020 budget before the House Committee on Water Resources. Again, National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Rolling over the Federal Ministry of Water Resources 2020 budget proposal has a capital expenditure of 78 billion naira, about 8 billion naira personnel, and 1.66 billion naira overhead.
Clear perspective what we are asking, so don't be shy of asking what do we mean by that.
Minister Suleiman Adamu requested the committee to revisit the country's water revenue processes through the Integrated Water Resources Commission.
The ministry still believes that with adequate and timely releases of budgetary allocations to the sector, we'll be able to achieve our set targets and contribute immensely towards the realization of the policy thoughts of the Buhari administration.
River Basin Operations and Inspectorate Division of the Ministry of Water Resources, Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority, and Cross River Basin Development Authority also defended their 2020 budget estimates before the committee, seeking for additional funds in their proposals. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, Nta News.
The directive of the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, to contractor handling Lagos-Ibadan rail project to increase the pace of work on the Lagos end of the project is being adhered to. Dr. Oguyemi, who monitored the ongoing construction work, reports that significant improvements have been made. This report.
Section 1 of the project covers the distance of 43 kilometers from Ibutemeta to Iju, having moved a higher percentage of its entire workforce to this section. The contractor and his team are working day and night, and where possible, recruiting more hands to deliver the project as now stipulated. Everywhere you turn along the project sites, there are men at work.
This is Mushi, one of the communities where the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail line connects. The scope of work that is being done by the construction company is ensuring that they discover water channels and build culverts like this along this corridor. And so far, 3 have been built from Yaba to this point.
Aside Mushi, other locations include Oshodi, Yaba, Ilupeju, Ladipo, and Agege, where the scope of work differs.
We remain committed, to the yarn of the federal government of Nigeria, especially on the aspect of getting Apapa Port connected by rail via this standard gauge project. We are reassuring Nigerians' populace, especially the Lagosians, that this project is going to affect their life positively.
Despite the rains and other challenges, such as impediments like this, gas and water pipelines on the project's right of way, the contractor is building concrete protections. As the completion date draws near for the Lagos-Ibadan railway project, the expectation of the people is high that socio-economic development will be accelerated. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
And talking digitization, how to harness the economic benefits of digitization is a outcome of the 18th Annual General and the 72nd General Assembly of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria held in Lagos. Sahid Ibrahim also emerges as a newborn chairman at the event.
The world is no doubt in a digital era, and the broadcast industry is having its share of technological advancement. To keep abreast of the trend, Nigeria began its journey of transition from analog to digital broadcasting around 2007.
The delay in bringing out a firm roadmap and releasing a firm timetable for the analog switch off of state or range switch on and those that will be switched on is something that is very critical.
But 12 years into the journey, key players in the broadcast industry are making further efforts at ensuring the country successfully switches over to digital broadcasting. This gathering, under the auspices of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, is part of such strategies.
The federal government acknowledges that the DSO project is in a critical situation and has approved the release of funds in tranches of 15 billion.
I am now more than ever before convinced that we will also become the capital of television in Africa within the next few years if we execute our DSO as planned.
It's therefore important to encourage our teaming youths to fully engage in the business of content provision, creation, taking into account our very rich cultural diversity.
The consensus at this forum is that digitization, apart from other numerous benefits, will empower individuals economically as well as improve the nation's GDP.
And away from digitization, it used to be one of the most celebrated residential areas around the Ogun State boundary with Lagos. I'm talking about Riverview Estate, located along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Now, since the onset of torrential rain, this estate has become a shadow of itself as residents have fled in search of better shelter elsewhere. Lukman Adefeso gives us a vivid account of an ecological challenge which has not only destroyed properties but has rendered the residents homeless. His report.
I'm a civil servant, and this is the environment where I live to go. In fact, by last week, I couldn't go in because if I enter my street, is Ayara Street, it's close to my neighbor.
This is not a river, but road within the Riverview Estate in Ogun State corridor of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This ecological challenge during rainy season is what residents of this neighborhood go through. Residents say property is destroyed or lost as a result is better seen than imagined. Many have relocated from the area, while several mansions within the estate are now shadows of themselves.
We had to hire 2 rooms in an hotel. I paid for 10 days, which was 160,000, and for each day we spent 8,000 naira to eat.
Well, all I can tell you is that my families, both my kids are out of the estate. We got to live, and we're just surviving by the grace of God. And many of us are in hotels.
For those who cannot afford a new apartment elsewhere, use of canoes remain their only means of transportation, as vehicles are being submerged at some points.
We operate canoe in the estate. We take everybody in. Some kind of people who won't come outside, we carry them, we carry them. That's how we operate. Sometimes we are making 25, sometimes we are making 30.
Though there are allegations that residents flouted government order to build on floodplain areas, the people disagreed and maintained that the estates were designed by the state government, who thereafter sold the land to them.
If government decide to sell me a plot of land and say, look, I have this place for you, come and buy, how am I supposed to know that it's a floodplain? If it was something we bought from Omuniles and land speculators, we say, oh, you're on your own.
This is a government land. Why won't I be hopeful? They sold it to us. They came to Europe, came to America, marketed it, and we bought it. So why won't I be hopeful? I believe the Excellency came, and I'm assured that something will be done.
We bought it 2004, but we got our CFO 2005, 2006. I'm still waiting. I think he's a proactive person because he came yesterday and the deputy governor is here today.
The director of service, Ogun River Basin, Femi Dokumu, reacted this way.
This is not the first time that will be the release of water from Oyo Dam. We released water last year, we released water the year before, and you will not experience flood here. This is because it is the level of water that comes from the rainfall that will go downstream, and ours is not the only thing that could ever cause the thing.
The state governor had earlier paid an unscheduled visit to the area where he assured adequate support to victims. A committee led by the state deputy governor, Mohamed Salakoyedele, has also been constituted. The deputy governor, who has swung into action, led other members of the committee on a fact-finding mission to assess the situation.
The support that we can get. This is a natural disaster, so we'll be looking at how the ecological fund and things can support us. But we cannot tell you all the things that we will do at this visit. What we know is that we're here, and we have to make sure that we bring succor to this community. And whatever it takes, we will make sure that we'll do our best for everybody.
Meanwhile, emergency agencies have been deployed to provide succor for the people while awaiting permanent solution.
The Nigerian Television Authority has been encouraging and supporting young scientists and artists over the years through the NTA ETV Art, Science and Technology Expo, now over a decade. Hawa Saliu Adamu completes the package.
There is an expansion of the scope to accommodate more projects, but there seems to be no commensurate response from relevant authorities to harness the potential of the young inventors, a situation that has played a part in slowing down the country's technological advancement.
NTA is to project the children and for the private sector to take over from them. NTA cannot do everything, but we approach the private sector, they are not interested. Okay. That's where we have a problem.
Participants expressed hope that if all key players collaborate, Nigeria will be well on the way to delivering on its huge potential through technology.
When using them, we gather them and then we use them to make furniture, chairs and tables.
A new technology that's coming through the world of using the renewable energy source to make a change in our society. And we have available spray machine in the country that are not working perfectly, and most they are expensive and some are cheap, but this does not reach the level or the quality our local farmers need. So I think I can make a change.
Cold-burn oven used for drying and baking of some food items like cake, bread, and other pastries. And I did that because of the nature of electricity in our country today. We have an unsteady nature of electricity. So with the use of that, you can use either a coal or a firewood, either a gas or a small stove. You can use it and bake your food.
And moving on, it is believed that the National Electoral Commission, both at the national and state levels, would perform better if they know the real model of contemporary challenges. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, stated this joining a meeting with the Forum of State Electoral Commission in Abuja. Hawa Saliu Adamu reports.
Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said this during a meeting with the Forum of State Electoral Commissions in Abuja.
I know that in many states they have their regulations and guidelines, but we need model laws that will govern the conduct of local government elections in the country that draw to a considerable extent from the National Electoral Legal Framework. The second issue that we need to talk together is the independence of the electoral commissions cannot be guaranteed where there is no financial independence. So whatever we can do to work together with you to ensure financial independence for the electoral commissions, that will enormously help the conduct of elections.
And you're still watching Channel 12 News Live on Nta 12 Abeokuta. More news after the break. Do stay with us. With us. Today is World Polio Day, and the day is devoted to raise an awareness for polio vaccination and eradication of the disease. Hawa Saliu Adamu reports.
This year's commemoration coincides with the declaration of Nigeria as non-polio endemic. But while there is celebration in the air, guests on Good Morning Nigeria are suggesting strategies to ensure there is no slip going forward.
By August 22nd, we were officially 3 years without polio cases. And we are now waiting for our final certification. It's a continuous exercise. In Rotary, we have involved all the clubs to move into communities, to connect with communities, connect with leaders, and to connect with even individuals in promoting the acceptance of polio vaccinations.
I think a little bit of humility is important here to understand that we've gone so far, we've done so well, but continued work and continued vigilance is important. When Nigeria achieves this goal, then there's more work in terms of ensuring that we have continued surveillance for not just polio, but for other vaccine-preventable diseases that affect children.
For the Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, another step is to deploy the volunteers and health workers who achieve this feat to good effect in other challenging areas of the health sector.
Governors now have to look for ways of bringing some of these very skilled individuals into the civil service so that they can continue to operate at the same level where Nigeria is being hailed globally as a country that has demonstrated innovation and resilience when it comes to polio eradication.
And in related developments, corporate bodies and voluntary organizations in Nigeria have been challenged to put resources together and collaborate in the fight against polio. This was the submission at the sensitization work organized by Rotary Clubs of Abeokuta Metro and Okiono-Egba in commemoration of this year's World Polio Day. Akim Jimo's report is hereby presented.
World Polio Day is a day set aside to create awareness on polio as well as commemorate the efforts of World Health Organization and other voluntary organizations towards eradicating polio worldwide. Experts say polio virus mainly affects the nervous system of children under the age of 5, leaving the person weak or with crippled legs. A few years ago, statistics reveal that globally, polio virus killed or crippled at least 2 million people yearly. It is, however, worthy of note that the world had in the last 2 decades witnessed a decline in the total number of recorded cases. Nigeria is not an exception, as the number of cases has drastically reduced from 350,000 in 1988 to just 22 in 2017. For over 30 years, Rotary Club has been at the forefront of the eradication of the scourge, with steady progress made over the years. It is in line with this that Rotary Clubs of Abeokuta Metro and Okiono-Egba organized a sensitization walk to commemorate this year's edition.
Since Rotary International got involved in the fight for against polio, we have succeeded in bringing it down to zero level. But that is not to say we should relax. We must ensure that the campaign continues so that as more children are being added to the population, we take enough precautions to make sure these children go through the vaccination. When you go to a public institution, absolutely the injection is free. So doing so continuously of every child born in Nigeria, every get born in the world, then polio is being eradicated.
While calling in corporate bodies and other voluntary organizations to do more in the fight against polio, some members of the club spoke on the significance of the day.
My message to people out there is they should save part of their belongings and their treasures to save humanity, to make life more better than they met it. If we have gone this far, we must make sure we really end it and end it well. And what we are saying is, we are not saying people should stop immunizing their children. We are saying they should continue to take this vaccine and take the vaccine and end polio. Thank you. We wish that the whole world will join us.
The theme of this year's World Polio Day is taking polio to zero level.
And now to weather focus for Friday. And that wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. I'm Nta Abeokuta. Bye for now.
Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti lu ilé ìfowópamọ́ àgbáyé lọ́gọ ẹnu fún ìgbéléwọ̀n ìdókòwò lọ́nà ìrọ̀rùn fún tọdún tó ń bọ̀. Àyájọ́ rọpárọsẹ̀ wọ́n ti rọ àwọn àjọ kọ̀ọ̀kan kí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ láti gbá ìsan rọpárọsẹ̀ wọlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Wàyí ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé láti gbọ́ ìròyìn ọ̀hún ní kíkún Fúnmiláyọ̀ Pátọ́lá ní oníròyìn ìròyìn ọ̀hún rèé. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari lórí ìlànà ìdókòwò lọ́nà ìrọ̀rùn eléyìí tí ilé ìfowópamọ́ àgbáyé gbé kalẹ̀ fún ti ọdún tó ń bọ̀ léyìí tó fi to ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà sí ipò 141 nínú 110 orílẹ̀-èdè. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Awasaliu Adama òun náà ló fi èyí tó ní létí. Sọ fún ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè Zubairu Dada òun ló ti sọ wípé ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà ni ó wà ní ipò láwùjọ àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó kù láwùjọ àgbáyé láti gun igi àgùnlà nípa ti ètò ìṣúná rẹ̀. èyí ló jẹ jáde nígbà tí ó ń ṣàtótónu lórí ètò ìṣúná tí iléeṣẹ́ náà tí ó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè tó gbé kalẹ̀, àtótónu níwájú àwọn aṣòfin àgbà ilé wa lórí rẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Abdullahi Aminu òun náà ló ṣe àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ọ̀hún. Ẹ gbọ́ àtúpalẹ̀ rẹ̀ síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa.
Ti gbogbo ṣe ìwà àjẹbánu lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí àti ṣíṣe ìlànà ìdókòwò pẹ̀lú owó ilẹ̀ òkèèrè, ìlànà òfin tó gbéṣẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí nílò láti ṣèyọrí ìgbésẹ̀ méjèèjì wọ̀nyí. Alákòóso lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè nílẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà Ṣùgbẹ́rù Dada ló sọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí níwájú ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà nígbà tó ń ṣàtúpalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná owó iléeṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ti ọdún 2020 níwájú ìgbìmọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin. Ó sọ síwájú sí pé owó tí ẹ̀ka náà yóò nílò láti ṣàṣeyọrí lórí ìwà àjẹbánu àti ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè. Ó tún sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú sí pé èyí yóò mú kí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ní orúkọ rere láwùjọ àgbáyé. Bákan náà ẹ̀wẹ̀, àjọ tó ń bójútó ìrìn àjò lọ sí ilẹ̀ Hájì nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà sọ pé ètò tó gba àkókò gígùn ni àwọn fẹ́ ṣe láti ṣètò ìrìn àjò lọ sí ilẹ̀ Mẹ́kà fún àwọn mùsùlùmí lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ àti pẹ̀lú láti ṣètò àbẹ̀wò sí ilẹ̀ Jerusalem pẹ̀lú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlàpá rẹ̀ ti wà nínú ìtàn mùsùlùmí, àti pé àjọ náà yóò fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ tí ó ń ṣètò ìrìnàjò fún àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti ṣàṣeyọrí èyí. Lọ́wọ́ kejì ẹ̀wẹ̀ ni àjọ tó ń ṣètò ìrìnàjò àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì lọ sí ilẹ̀ mímọ́ ní Jerusalem náà ṣe àtúpalẹ̀ ìṣúná owó ti àjọ rẹ̀. Bákan náà ni wọ́n fi kíkọ́ orílẹ̀-iṣẹ́ àjọ náà sí inú ìṣúná owó náà, èyí tí wọ́n gbégbésẹ̀ pé yóò wà ní àárín gbùngbùn Àbújá. Síwájú sí ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ìdáṣẹ́sílẹ̀ àti àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ náà fi ètò ìṣúná wọn náà sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò ìṣúná wọn níwájú àwọn ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin. Wọ́n sọ síwájú sí pé ètò ìjọba àpapọ̀ ni àwọn yóò gbé karí ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀. Síwájú sí ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò ìṣúná wọn, èyí tó dá lórí àwọn ìlànà ètò ìjọba àpapọ̀ lójúnà àti mú àlékún bá ìgbọ́kànlé tí àwọn olùdáṣẹ́sílẹ̀ yóò ní nínú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Bákan náà ni àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba náà yóò tún mú ìgbèrò bá àwọn ohun tí a ń ṣe ní ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà àti rírí sí pé à ń fi àwọn ohun tí a ń ṣe ní ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ránṣẹ́ sí òkè òkun. Alákòóso ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ Àdàmú níwájú ìjókòó aṣòfin alájùmọ̀jókòó náà pẹ̀lú sọ bí ètò ìṣúná ẹ̀ka ilé-iṣẹ́ náà yóò ṣe lọ sí ní ọdún 2020. Ó sọ pé ẹ̀ka náà yóò mú ètò ẹ̀kọ́ gíga lọ́kùnkúndùn tí yóò sì rí pé àwọn fásitì ilẹ̀ wa ń dàgbà sí ní ẹ̀ka ọ̀gbìn àti ti ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀. Bákan náà ni ilé-iṣẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ béèrè fún àfikún owó sí ètò ìṣúná owó náà láti fi parí àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ilé-iṣẹ́ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n dáwọ́lé ní àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga gbogboṣe ti ìjọba àpapọ̀, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ti àwọn olùkọ́ àgbà àti ní àwọn fásitì ìjọba àpapọ̀.
Ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà tòun orílẹ̀-èdè Russia ni wọ́n ti pinnu láti gbé ìbádọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ aláǹfààní tó wà láàrin wọn dé ìpele tó ga jùlọ kọjá bíbá ara ẹni parí àwọn àjàǹbákù àkànṣe iṣẹ́ àti ọ̀rẹ́ òfegè, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n pinnu láti túbọ̀ jùmọ̀ gbé ètò ọrọ̀ ajé wọn gòkè sí i. Èyí ni ìpele ọ̀tún láàrin Nàìjíríà àti Russia ló pẹ̀kun sí níbi ìpàdé tó wáyé láàrin aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari àti aṣáájú ilẹ̀ Russia ìyẹn Vladimir Putin, léyìí tó yàtọ̀ sí ìpàdé àpapọ̀ tàwọn aṣáájú ti ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ tó wáyé ń bẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adamu Sambo tó tẹ̀lé aláṣẹ òun náà ló jẹ́ ààbọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ gbọ́ àbájáde ìpàdé náà síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Kẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù.
Pẹ̀lú ìdùnnú àti ayọ̀ ni aláṣẹ ilẹ̀ Russia Vladimir Putin kí aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari káàbọ̀ síbi àpérò náà. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari nìkan ni aláṣẹ ilẹ̀ Russia gbà lálejò fún ìjíròrò lórí orílẹ̀-èdè wọn. Àwọn aláṣẹ méjèèjì fẹnukò láti ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ láti ṣe àmúlò gbogbo àǹfààní orílẹ̀-èdè láti gbé ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìlú méjèèjì lárugẹ. Níbẹ̀ aláṣẹ Buhari ṣe ìlérí láti ṣe àmúlò afẹ́fẹ́ gáàsì orílẹ̀-èdè yìí àti láti ṣe àtúnṣe àyè ìfọ epo gbogbo lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Bákan náà ni ó tún mẹ́nuba ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ àkànṣe iléeṣẹ́ irin Àjàòkúta. Aláṣẹ Buhari ṣìpẹ̀ fún ilẹ̀ Russia láti padà wá parí àwọn iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ti jọ fohùn ṣọ̀kan lé lórí. Ilẹ̀ Russia ṣèlérí wípé àwọn yóò wá ṣiṣẹ́ náà pẹ̀lú ìlérí láti wá parí àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ojú irin oníkìlómítà 1,000 láti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó títí lọ dé gúúsù Calabar. Aláṣẹ Buhari tún mẹ́nuba ètò ààbò níbi tí ó ti ṣèlérí pé òun yóò ṣe àtúnṣe àsọyépọ̀ tó wà láàrin orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì. Ìlérí yìí yóò túbọ̀ mú ìbáṣepọ̀ ìlú méjèèjì túbọ̀ gbópọn sí i níbi ìpèsè àwọn ohun èlò fún àwọn ológun orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Aláṣẹ Buhari tún pè fún àtúnjókòó àyẹ̀wò àwọn àsọyépọ̀ ilẹ̀ méjèèjì fún ìlọsíwájú tó gbópọn. Kẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù ló ti ń jábọ̀ ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Láti ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àpapọ̀ ilé wa, ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tí yóò mú kí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí kí ó alákòóso náà Sulaiman Adamu tó ṣàlàyé ọ̀rọ̀ náà nígbà tó ń ṣe atótónu lórí àbá ètò ìṣúná iléeṣẹ́ náà fún ti ọdún tó ń bọ̀. Òun náà ló yọ kò mú òkun ọ̀rọ̀ náà jáde. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Abdullahi Aminu ló jábọ̀ ròyìn ọ̀hún, ṣùgbọ́n ẹgbẹ́ ohun tó mú bọ̀ síwájú sí i látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa.
Alákòóso fún ìpèsè omi Sulaiman Adamu ṣàtúpalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná ilé-iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ omi níwájú ìgbìmọ̀ ilé aṣòfin tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìpèsè omi. Wọ́n sọ pé iye tí iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ náà fẹ́ ná yóò tó bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà 180 náírà. Bákan náà ni wọn yóò tún ná nǹkan bíi bílíọ̀nù 8 náírà fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Bákan náà ni nǹkan bíi bílíọ̀nù 1.5 owó ànátúná. Alákòóso Sulaiman Adamu bẹ ìgbìmọ̀ náà láti ṣàtúngbéyẹ̀wò òfin tí ó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ìpèsè omi nípasẹ̀ àjọ tó ń pèsè omi èyí tó jẹ́ ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń rí sí ìpèsè omi adágún odò Anambra àti Imo ti Cross River pẹ̀lú béèrè fún àfikún owó sí ètò ìṣúnáwó wọn pẹ̀lú. Ṣèyí Ògùnmáyọ̀ ló jábọ̀ ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Agboolé ìgbàlódé tí a mọ̀ sí Riverview tó kalẹ̀ sọ́nà márosẹ̀ Èkó sílùú Ìbàdàn ló jẹ́ agboolé tó jẹ́ ojú ní gbèsè tó sì máa ń wo ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn kí wọ́n máa gbé níbẹ̀ ṣáájú àkókò yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n láti ìgbà tí àrágbá yamuyamu òjò ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ló ti dá páropáro tí àwọn tó ń gbé ibẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti sọ ibẹ̀ di kójúmọ́rì bí gbogbo ara pátá ní ògùn rẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti fi ibẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lukman Adéfẹ̀sọ̀ tó lọ síbẹ̀ ló ṣàlàyé ọ̀tún ọ̀rọ̀ náà, ló ṣàlàyé ohun tí omíyalé àti ọ̀gbàrá tí ó ń fojú àwọn tó ń gbébẹ̀ tí ó ń fi rí. Ẹgbẹ́ àlàyé rẹ̀ síwájú sí látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Láti àìmọye ọdún sẹ́yìn ni àwọn olùgbé Riverview Estate ní agbègbè Ìṣẹ́rí ní ẹ̀bá òpópónà márosẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó sí Ìbàdàn tí ń kojú ìpèníjà omíyalé tó ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀ wọn di aláìnílé lórí tí dúkìá ọlọ́ọ̀kẹ́ àìmọye sì ti pàdánù sínú rẹ̀. Wọ́n máa ń kojú irúfẹ́ ìṣòro yìí pàápàá jùlọ lásìkò òjò. Ọ̀pọ̀ tí ó kọ́lé sí agbègbè yìí ni wọ́n ti fi ilé wọn sílẹ̀ tí àwọn ilé náà sì ti di ahoro. Fún àwọn tí wọn kò lè fi ilé wọn sílẹ̀, mímáa lo ọkọ̀ ojú omi ni wọ́n ń gbà dé ibùgbé wọn nígbàkúgbà tí irúfẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí bá ṣẹlẹ̀, látàrí bí ó ṣe jẹ́ wípé ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ọkọ̀ wọn ni àgbàrá yóò wọ́ lọ tàbí kí ó mú dẹmúdẹmú.
Tá a ti ń ṣe é sìn ó ti ń tó bí 3 weeks lọ. Àwa là ń gbé wọn láti báyìí lọ sí next state, a tún máa ń gbé wọn jáde padà wá.
Bí èló ni ẹ máa ń gbé èèyàn kan àbí yóò?
Ṣẹ̀rí yá lè depends oye tó bá fún wa la máa mú lọ lé, ìgbà mi wọ́n máa ń fún wa ní 20-25.
Bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ìjọba ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìwádìí níbi tí wọ́n ti fi ìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé lára àwọn tí wọ́n kọ́lé sí agbègbè náà ni wọ́n kọ́lé sí ojú ìṣàn omi, eléyìí tí ó lòdì sí òfin ìkọ́lé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn àti jákèjádò orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ènìyàn agbègbè náà sọ wípé irọ́ pátágbà ni ìròyìn òfegè náà. Wọ́n ní ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ni ó ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àti àtagbà ètò ìkọ́lé ní agbègbè náà, àwọn ni wọ́n sì tà á fún àwọn kí ó tó di wípé àwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́lé lé lórí. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn títí lọ́ọ́ fi ìgbà kan ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí agbègbè tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ṣẹlẹ̀ sí, fi dá àwọn ènìyàn lójú wípé àtìlẹ́yìn tó gbópọn yóò wà fún àwọn tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ láabi ọ̀hún ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Bákan náà ni ó ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ alábẹ́sẹ́kẹ́lé kan tí wọn yóò wo ìṣàkun bí ohun gbogbo ṣe ń lọ ní agbègbè náà, eléyìí tí igbákejì gómìnà arábìnrin náà Naimot Salakodele léwájú fún. Ní kété tí wọ́n ti gbé ìgbìmọ̀ náà kalẹ̀ ní igbákejì gómìnà àtàwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ rẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ní wàrà ṣíṣà tí wọ́n lọ wo àwọn ibi tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀hún ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àti èròǹgbà ìjọba láti mú ohun gbogbo bọ̀ sípò. Bákan náà, ìjọba ti rọ àwọn àjọ tí ó ń dá sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì láti lọ sí agbègbè náà kí wọ́n rí i pé wọ́n mú gbogbo dẹrùn fún àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe àtàkò irúfẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé gbàdáyà ṣọ́ọ̀bù náà. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni tí ń jábọ̀ rẹ̀ láti lè ṣe Nta Abeokuta.
Wọ́n ti ké sí àwọn oníléeṣẹ́ ajé ńláńlá àti àjọ aráàlú kí wọ́n pawọ́pọ̀ pa ohun èlò pọ̀ kí wọ́n jùmọ̀ gbógun ti àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ láwùjọ wa. Èyí ló jẹ́ lájorí ìrìn ìlera táwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ aláàánú Rotary Club ti Abẹ́òkúta Òkè Ọ̀nà Ẹ̀gbá tí wọ́n rìn lónìí láti fi sọrí àyájọ́ rọpárọsẹ̀ láwùjọ. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Akeem Jimoh lójúmọ́ pẹ̀lú wọn, ẹgbẹ́ ohun tó mú bọ̀ wálé síwájú sí látẹnu Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Àyájọ́ sísàmì ìpèníjà àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ láti fi mọ rírì ipa tí àjọ ètò ìwòsàn àgbáyé àti àwọn àjọ tí wọ́n jẹ́ ti aládàáni tí wọ́n kì í ṣe ti ìjọba ti ń kó nínú gbígbógun ti ìpèníjà àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ láwùjọ àgbáyé. Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ìlera sọ pé irúfẹ́ àrùn báyìí máa ń ṣe àkóbá fún ẹ̀yà ara, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ọmọ dé tí ọjọ́ orí wọn ju bíi márùn-ún lọ, yálà kí ó pa wọ́n àbí kí ó rọ ẹsẹ̀ wọn méjèèjì. Àbájáde ìṣàyẹ̀wò kan tí wọ́n ṣe bí ọdún mélòó kan sẹ́yìn ló fi ìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣekú pa àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n tó bí mílíọ̀nù 2 lọ́dọọdún. Ṣùgbọ́n pọn dandan kí a fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé àwùjọ àgbáyé ti ṣe àṣeyọrí nípa mímú ìdínkù bá irúfẹ́ àìsàn báyìí bí ó ṣe jẹ́ wípé ó ti ń wálẹ̀ dáadáa ju ti àtẹ̀yìnwá lọ. Bákan náà, orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà kò ṣàìnípín nínú ìmúwásílẹ̀ àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ ló jẹ́ pé láti bí ẹgbẹ̀gbẹ̀jì àwọn èèyàn ní ọdún 1988 ni wọ́n ṣe àgbákò àrùn yìí lọ́dọọdún, ṣùgbọ́n tí ó ti wá di 22 péré láàrin ọdún 2017 sí àsìkò tá a wà yìí. Fún bí ọgbọ̀n ọdún sẹ́yìn ni àjọ kan tí kìí ṣe ti ìjọba ìyẹn Rotary Club ti ń léwájú nínú gbígbógun ti àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ láwùjọ.
À ń bá àìsàn yẹn jà gidigidi pẹ̀lú oògùn tí a pèsè fún àwọn èèyàn wa láti fún àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké. So nípa bẹ́ẹ̀ ńkọ́ a fẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn wa ṣì ní àǹfààní àti mọ̀ pé ogun yìí ti ṣàwò ṣùgbọ́n a fẹ́ kó gbérí mọ́. Polio ó máa kúrò nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ẹgbẹ́ Rotary dẹ̀ ló wà ní ìdí bí a ṣe ń bá àìsàn polio jà. Àwa là ń sanwó abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára tí wọ́n ń fún àwọn ọmọ. Níbi a ṣe wà ń sìn oríṣi orílẹ̀-èdè mẹ́ta
tí wọ́n sì ti ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àṣeyọrí ní ìbámu láti sàmì ayẹyẹ náà ti ọdún 2019 ní àjọ Rotary ti ìlú Abẹ́òkúta, ti Metro àti ti Òkè Ọ̀nà Ẹ̀gbá ṣíṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìwọ́de alálàáfíà kan tí wọ́n fi ń sàmì ayẹyẹ náà ti ọdún 2019. Nígbà tí wọ́n rọ àwọn oníléeṣẹ́ aládàáni gbogbo ti àwọn àjọ tí wọ́n kì í ṣe ti ìjọba láti túbọ̀ parapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn láti gbógun ti ìpèníjà àrùn pólíò láwùjọ, àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ náà sọ̀rọ̀ lórí pàtàkì sísàmì ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ọ̀hún. Àkórí sísàmì ti ọdún yìí ni mímú ìpèníjà àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ wá sí òpin. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ló ti ń jábọ̀ rè láti lè ṣe Nta Abeokuta.
tó aláwòrábí kò ní fi àìsàn káìsàn ṣe wá lọ́jọ́. Ìròyìn wa kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ó dàárọ̀, òun rẹ̀ lásùn.
Aitenga Muhammadu Buhari ko de kunu na aihan to sin akwese do ho na ojireka he do jire ajo iwasi oho to aiten Nigeria tome aihan to sin asan probo zonton we mi sedo beto heyin oniyun eto akwena podo asanpa zon sile bi po we alginame ko yi yede do yeni gwalo do po do zi àwọn pé azon lo NTA zonpa ko do pagbe na do vo aga yen pla joja ni ko do weja yin ni Gigo Son television o Nta Abeokuta to me to mi dije ni na mi kan we Anthony Gandonu Nigeria ko do Russia ite po we mi siro ye ko so yigbe do to de fie na do modo ye wa son do po tó hàn àgàyè pláwọ̀ wàdópọ̀ ebísí ekin tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà àyí tí àwọn ìtàn àwòyẹ̀wò lọ́lẹ̀ bonando zọmọ́ bonando hàn àgàyè pláàzán wàdó àgbòtè ègòyè kò gbẹ́kọ̀ dótó àyí tí àwọn lọ́lẹ̀ mẹ́lẹ̀ lọ́sùn nádámọ́dọ̀ àsán wìwà mọ́ nǹkan tán lẹ̀ èyí wìwà fò lọ́ẹ̀ máa ń yẹ èṣogba dọ̀yìn náà sọ̀ zọmọ́ bodó hàn àgàyè pláàjọ́ hó tí àhàlà àyí tí àwọn lọ́lẹ̀ tán na gayi gbeto ayi ti an lole tan ehe weyin owe yoyo he ayi ti Nigeria tan podo Russia tan po kan bo so tan na gbeto to mere tunle to aya jije podo wadopo si oho he dopo to kuri adodode he wa yi me to shinse na ayi ti nga Muhammadu Buhari podo nkan to ayi ti Russia tan po ene Vladimir Putin po mi sedo titolawe mi sedo wa yi me ene opli lo we wa dota na opli gbo adodo eto ya lonu to di fie to ayi tin Russia tan podo Africa yi ten tan po chinchen dogbon ajo ayi tin le tan me na agayi ayi han to tan to chochi mi ton Adamu Sambo we yi Gigo lotan do wa na mi golewa pe gbe to di fie Aitenga Muhammadu Buhari we mi sede ko so do mi wetan hia na alopa hime akwese do hoda ho ayi han to tan ene World Bank eze ojireka he basi to ko 2020 tan si de ajo wa si okole yido to aiten ayi han to me to fide wa ze aiten Nigeria so yaga to jireka tan si oho me bo aiten Nigeria tan so ti to tendo fode kande gban tan nukundopo to ayitin he so fode kande gban nukundopo to ayitin ayihan to blebu tan me ni ton Hawa Saliu Adama wayi Gigo lotun do wa na mi nukun pe nugo to na aweto na agayi podo ayitin aganu tan si ohopo ayitin tan ene zugberu dada we mi sedo eko so odo Nigeria den atodo na do modo eti to ten he so kan we ko elan o nkan ton to ayihan to lebi sensen ledo ayihan to me to ayihan to me na do modo edo agayi to onu heyin aganu ti o hole me ehe we yin onu he do to ayi sisin dodo de akwesizan ti to ko 2020 tan na yido to azanpa ahodu tan devu leme to ayitin me to ho ni azanpa etin na ayitin aganu tan si oho do yi nukan sendo ho ayitin tan si aisi nukan dogbon ayitin aganu tan si oho leji to fine we yido te dogbon akwehe ye nazan na o ko 2020 tan to azanpa lo me nígbà tí tó òhòdìdọ́dọ́gbọ̀n àkwẹ́sìkíásí òhòjì kódó àkwẹ́sìsánsì ti tó 2020 tán jípo mísèdọ̀ àsándélẹ̀ èyí kò wà gbogbo àdó àgbòpè tèwẹ̀ mísèdọ̀ iná mọ̀nùkún dàgbé àjọwò àyítẹ́ tán iná sọ̀sán mọ́bòhìn àgàyè pílà àyítẹ́ Nàìjíríà tán kódó dégbẹ̀tọ́ vísù dópó tó àyítẹ́ mẹ́bọnádó dèpò ẹnẹ̀ dé òmúlẹ̀ tó yìí dó to ayitin me ewe mi sedo wa yi mento o ko 2020 kan si akwesizan ti to he azonpa etina osinsin dogodu sename leton to yehan to men npe nukoto na osinsin ohoto aitem Sulaiman Adamu we mi se do ehun so heji to ho ni do to hodo dogbon akwesisansi to 2020 azonpa etenton to nukan na osendo ho he aisingbelo dote dogbon azonwa dogbon osinsin ohoji ko eko jẹ dandan nágbẹ̀tọ́ he do akọ kódó àsánpá sí àsánpá gbẹ̀tọ́ dèvò lẹ́tàn kótó àyítẹ́ ìmẹ̀ ẹni nàìjíríà tán nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yé wà sọ́ndópọ̀ bóṣọ́gọ̀ àlọ́dópọ̀ dó pé he àfúnyírọ̀mẹ̀ ètò àkànpọ̀n he pọ̀lọ́bọ́ sí àsàntó àyítẹ́ ìmẹ̀ ehe lẹ́wẹ̀ yín ònú èyí dọ̀ tó àyínámẹ̀ sí zọrùn sísìn títòdé he ògbẹ́ lẹ́bílánú wa gbẹ́ rotary tán tó Abẹ́òkúta fíìlì tó tè bọ̀yé bà sí ẹnẹ òkè ọ̀nà ẹ̀gbá tán tó wà dópọ̀ kó nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yìí dó yẹ ìgò náà oko ìsìn àyájọ́ fún pọlọbọ sí àsán tán ìyí tọ̀nítàn Akeem Jimoh wọ̀nyí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn tó wà náà mọ̀ níṣẹ́lẹ̀ mìdíkẹ́mi ní sọ pé tó sọ ìjà náà gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn léfò mìtọ́dàgbẹ́.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi kí ló dé.
àwọn tí mo jẹ lówó ni wọn wá gba ọ̀kadà mi ó nítorí tó ti sanwó.
àgbà bíi àká o ìrètí ò lópin ìwọ náà lè jẹ ìgbádùn ayé tó dáa bíi tèmi lọ́dọ̀ Glo wò mí báyìí kẹ́kẹ́ náà pẹ́ ibi tó tó rẹ̀ nítorí sí nídìí ojú 200 náà pé lọ.
200 naira.
ẹ máa fi gba kẹ̀kẹ́ náà fẹ́ tuntun níbo báwo.
wo kí ló gbogbo yẹn ṣe sáré lọ ṣọ́ọ̀bù Glo yarí sí.
lo káàdì ìpè káwọn jẹ̀bù kankan ra káàdì ìpè Glo nígbà náírà lójúmọ́ kí wọn náà lè jẹ nínú àwọn ẹgbẹgbẹ̀rún ẹ̀bùn bíi kẹ̀kẹ́ nàpẹ́ ẹ̀rọ ìránṣọ ẹ̀rọ ìlọ́ta ẹ̀wà múnáwá bó sì ń ra káàdì sí láǹfààní ẹ̀bùn jíjẹ rẹ̀ ó ṣe pọ̀ sí.
Unlimited.
The management and staff of Nta Abeokuta heartily rejoice with Sir Kashintin Adebukola Adebutu on the occasion of his 83rd birthday. We wish him long life, good health, and many prosperous years on earth. Happy birthday, sir. Announcer for management.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Dèdè ká polówó ọjà kájẹ́ òkú gbájẹ́. Nta Abeokuta ra síwájú dédé wọn. Nta Abeokuta àwàrè lókè o. Fún ìròyìn àsìkò rẹ̀ pérégedé ká polówó ọjà kájẹ́ owó ọgbà. Ìgbélárugẹ àwọn ètò wọn ẹ̀kọ́ lè fùnà. Aré ìdárayá.